What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Gundam Universe Wave 6, their version of Heavy Arms, Exia, and their Freedom Gundam. So I've actually been quite excited for this wave. I just been waiting for it to come out at Target. I found it the other day finally, and they really look awesome. We're going to do this like we normally do. We'll go through each one individually. I'll show you all the accessories, articulation, and so forth. So we'll start off with 15, and then we'll go to 16 to 17. Just in case you are not aware, here's all the figures they've released so far. Here's Wave 1. I did review these. I'm not a big fan of the Unicorn Gundam, so I didn't even bother with these guys. This one and this one I just didn't even bother with. But I have reviewed pretty much everything else you see here. The last one we looked at right here, Wave 5, the Zaku. They finally gave us Zaku, and now we have these guys over here. So I like these little books. It just gives you kind of a history of where you are. If you're interested, you can scan this QR code for a free Gundam Universe special comic book. So there you go. Let's get into this. We'll start off with Heavy Arms. And there we have Heavy Arms. Really cool looking. I love the colors and the look of this guy. I'm also happy to get a Gundam that's not blue, white, or black. Well, a lot of the Gundams we're getting, and that's just the nature of Gundam. The only one we haven't gotten that isn't is Zaku, which was all red. But this one, really nice yellow, orange, and red color scheme. Let's take a look at the paint close up. You've got some green paint for the eyes and metallic sort of looking. You got some black paint here on the nose and then red paint for the chin. I believe this little camera or whatever this is painted. The head crest is just yellow plastic, and then these are white plastic. Those are very, very thin, so just be careful. You don't want to drop that or put stress on that. You got some blue paint here for the crest, orange paint here on the chest, and then a little bit of yellow paint down here. The rest is plastic. Here's the back. You have a little bit of silver paint here on this hidden sword. And that actually gets me to my other thing. This guy has all sorts of hidden little features. So he's got this hidden fold-out sword. That's really cool. He's got hidden fold-out missile pods in his shoulders. A little gray plastic behind there. He's got hidden Gatling guns in his chest. I think they're Gatling guns. Maybe they might be missiles, but a little bit of green paint there. And you've got hidden missile pods in his legs. So really awesome. They give you a lot of stuff on this guy just built in. And that's really cool. I'm glad that they did that. And I know that this guy had all that in the show, but it just feels like you're getting good value here for this $25 price point. You don't often see that level of stuff going on with a $25 action figure. But let's go into this guy. So the head is on a ball joint, so it does rotate all the way around. It's a little bit hindered due to the sculpt, and you do want to be careful with these. But the neck itself can move back and forth. So you can go down to there and up to there and rotate all the way around, a little bit of side to side. The shoulder pad itself is on a ball joint, so that goes up and down, can rotate. The entire arm can rotate at the shoulder. You have rotation at the upper bicep, or I guess at the shoulder. Double jointed elbow gets you not the full bend because of the sculpt. Due to the sculpt, it is kind of limited. Showed you this, that does fold out. The hands are on a ball joint. Now, all of these come with these fisted hands installed. The first thing I ever do with these Gundam figures is take these off. And then I go ahead and replace them with the gripping hands. And then I throw those other ones in a bag and I never look at them again because they're really useless to me. I don't use them. I prefer having the gripping hands on there permanently. But all of them are ball jointed, so they rotate all the way around, and you can rotate the hand itself. There is a double ball peg for the abs. Well, I guess there's a rotational joint. I've never seen something like that in there, but it does go down to there, back to there. You do have a side to side because the upper torso is on a ball joint, but it's hard to get anything because there's all this stuff in the way. A lot of these Gundam Universe figures feel like it's got the articulation there, but they've blocked it. And you can even do things like maybe shave off some of the material so you can get more of a movement out of the elbows and out of the knees. But you just want to be careful because, this is kind of a thin plastic. It is a retail figure. So I wish they would just give you that extra articulation, but I think they've reserved that for their higher end kits. So anyway, moving along, you do have rotation here. You have hip skirts that move up and out of the way, but barely out of the way. Now you can take them off completely, or you can lift them up and get them out of the way a little bit more, just rotate them up a little bit. If you go too far, it comes off and pops off. And this has been true pretty much across the board for this Gundam Universe line. Legs go up to there, back to there, hindered by this back panel, which can be removed if you wanted to. Just take this off. Out to the side, again, hindered by its own hip skirt there. Rotation at the thigh on a universal. Double jointed knee, but again, of course, limited due to the sculpt. Ankle tilt. And it is on a ball joint. I popped it off the ball joint there, but because of that ball joint, you get the back and forth as well, and then you get this armor piece, which will move independently. So lots of articulation, just also lots of limitations. Now, you do get a nice accessory here in addition to the missile pods, which is this beam Gatling gun. So it does come with a shield that installs here. If you don't like that shield, you can take it off. Unfortunately, it doesn't mount anywhere else on him, not on the back or anything like that. So it just kind of is on its own. So you do want to take off this hand, and you can see inside here there's a ball joint. That's going to fit onto his arm. And there you go. He can hold that Gatling gun. And that looks really good. Now this handle obviously is for the other hand, so he can kind of stabilize this Gatling gun. But it's a really good looking gun overall. Now you can flip this, so if you prefer, you can flip this around. Oops, and I knocked this out. And basically he can swap this to this side, and then this hand can hold this handle. So whatever you prefer, I just wanted to show you. You can do that if you want, but it's nice that they thought about all that. Now, one final accessory you get is the jetpack here. Just a gray plastic. This will come and fit here. There's 4 pegs. Just peg that on. But that also allows you to take this gun, and if you unpeg that from the arm, you can fold up this little handle. And I believe you can keep this on here. You can see there's a little peg right there, and that will attach onto his backpack, and now he can be displayed like that. And you can actually attach it on either side, so if you prefer to have it on this side, you can do that and display it on his backpack. That's kind of cool. Alright, now let's take a look at Exia, or I think it may be pronounced Exia, I'm not sure, but really cool looking. You got some nice detail on this guy. Let's get in close. You got the metallic green here on the side, on the head crest. Metallic blue for the eyes, red paint here, and then an accent here under the eyes. Yellow paint here on these horn and these blades here. These are very thin, so just be careful with all those horns. You have some, I think, blue paint here, some silver paint there, I think red right there. A little bit of gray paint here on the legs and the thighs. Nice metallic green here on the knees, and then up here on the arms. Here's the back. Nice looking overall. I like that little backpack piece. But really overall very nice looking. All of these are pretty accurate to the original cartoon or even the comic. Now I've already replaced the hands here, so why don't we go ahead and show you the articulation. The head is on a ball joint just like the other one. So it gets up to there, down to there. The neck does move, so you can get it forward and backwards. If you go too far, it will pop off the joint. Again, be careful with these horns. Shoulders rotate all the way around. The shoulder pad is on a ball joint. This one's a little bit tighter to the arm. A little bit of gray paint here. You have a rotation at the bicep, double jointed elbow. This one gets you the full bend. It is sculpted in a way that allows you to use that. Hands on a ball joint, and those can rotate. You have a rotation here at the mid waist. Ab crunch gets you down to there, back to there. I don't see a separate crunch here on the bottom one, so I think it's just that mid one that you get to use here. You have hip skirts here, they rotate up here, and again, you can pull them all the way out if you want to. You have drop down hips on this one, so that helps you get a little bit more articulation. I did knock this piece off here, but I'll show you that a little bit later. But the legs can, if you drop them down, go all the way up to there, back to there, and not much out to the side due to the way this is sculpted, so that's interesting. Now, it does have a slot here, which is interesting. It's got that little, maybe they all use the same hardware, but there's a slot for another hip skirt, and this one doesn't have it. So I don't think I'm missing a hip skirt, because both sides are missing, but for sure it's the same hardware, so they just left that blank panel there. But out to the side, you really don't get anything unless you take, let's see what happens. No, that doesn't help. So now that I've taken that off, I might as well show you. So these allow you to take these swords, and you can attach these onto here. And let's see, like that. And then you can take these white pieces and put them on there. And if you want, you can take off the blade and display like that. Or you can have the blade on. I prefer to have the blade on. And have it kind of hanging off the belt. So I think that looks really good. It's a nice little display option. But continuing on, you have a rotation at the thigh. You have a double jointed knee. It is a little bit limited, again, due to the skull, but you get 90 degrees. Ankle tilt, pivot, any direction, and a rotation. So you can get anything out of those ankles. Now, as far as accessories go, I showed you this one. You get actually two of those. They're different lengths. So here's the other sword. You get one long sword and one short sword. And they both work the same way. So we'll just get those attached here. This one will attach on this side. And just sit like that. But you also get some pieces, which I don't know if they're accessories or just part of the display of this guy. But you get little white horns. And these will attach right here. If you try to put them this way, they won't really go on. They had to go up with this little divot piece on the top. Same for here. Now these can be irritating because as you're messing with it, they can kind of get popped off. So I'd recommend, putting some floor polish or glue to hold those on, because you don't really need to take them off once you have them on there. But if you're planning to put it back in the box, you do need to take them off because you won't fit in the box with those on. But there you go. You got all those spikes. Now, if you tack him from the back, he's definitely going to get you with all these spikes on there. That looks really nice. I like how it just matches up with the swords. It really does look cool. Very cool display piece with those swords kind of hanging off and back. Now, you, of course, get his big GN sword right here. It comes with a shield here on the side. You can remove that. Unfortunately, there's nowhere to put the shield. It does have some nice blue paint on it. Maybe a better way to do it is to take off the hand and get on this way and then mount that onto the figure. All right, so there you go. And we'll get this on here. Now the shield is actually on the wrong side. So I'm not sure. I guess I'd put it the other way. So let me see. All right, there we go. Get that into here. And then get this back on here, because what's the point of having this with the shield? And you can see I'm knocking stuff off here. Let me get this back on here. And that's why I recommended just glue it on so it doesn't keep falling off. But there's his giant GN sword. Now this can fold back like that. And then you can have it displayed like that. So really cool. Some good display options. With all of his stuff on there, you can literally get everything on there. It really does look cool. All right, now let's take a look at Freedom Gundam. And this one is really, really cool. I love the way this looks. There's a lot of detail and paint on it. Let's go over that. Got some gold here on the horns. Red paint here on the shoulders and on the head crest. Gold here on the eyes. Black and then red on the chin. Got some kind of grayish paint here on this collar piece. Red and black here on the front. That looks really, really good. It almost looks like it opens up, but it doesn't actually open up or anything. But it looks like it could, so that's nice. Red paint here and black paint there. Red and black here on these tips here. I'll show you that feature a little bit later. Black paint here on the knee pads and then red on the feet. Here's the back. Looks good. All in all, some really nice looking details. Now, this guy comes with a ton of stuff and he can do a lot of stuff. So, first off, he does have these attached, so you can open these up. And these can become guns that basically have a black piece back here. And basically you can shoot from the hip with these built-in guns. Very, very cool. Love how that looks. Speaking of how you can move these, the head is on a ball joint, so it rotates all the way around. It does collide a little bit, it goes up and down. The neck piece does move forward, so you can get the head down to there, up to there. Shoulders rotate all the way around on a ball joint. The shoulder pads are on a ball joint themselves, so they do move around a little bit. rotation at the bicep. Double jointed elbow gives you the full bend. Wrists are on a ball joint, so they get you all the way around. You can rotate those around. You have a lower ab crunch, which allows you the side tilt. But again, due to the sculpt and the way they've designed it, they've basically blocked you from using it. You can go back, you can go forward, you can go side, but it's just limited. If you were to take this white piece out, you could probably get a lot more out of that. These can be detached if you want to detach them and not use them, but for me personally, those are really cool. I would never remove them, but you can if you prefer. Get those folded back up. I like how they turn into hip skirts, and they just look very natural when they're not in use in the gun mode. So that's just a cool little feature. There's a lot of little articulation just on the gun alone. All right, getting down, you have this hip skirt. This is very typical. Do you get the ball drop down? Yeah, you do. You get the drop down, so it goes up to there. Back to there, hindered by this, but again, you can take that back panel off. Out to the side on friction. If you move this out of the way, you can get up to there. Rotation at the thigh on what's ball joint there. Double jointed knee, but only gets you 90 degrees due to the sculpt. You've got that built-in little booster in his back calf. The feet are on ball joints, so it gets side to side, back and forth, rotation, and then it's on a double ball peg. So you can really get it back, and then you can see that hidden little piston in there. These are one of the most movable versions of the ankles. So it's interesting that they did that for this, but not for a lot of the others. So there you go for his articulation. Now let's get into his accessories. You get a lot of stuff with this guy. So let's first start off with his backpack here. Nice little jetpack that just fits right into here. And you need that first because you need that for these wings. These are beautifully painted. You got some red, some black, some detail here. I mean, that all looks really nice. So these you're going to take and plug in right here. They are multi-directional, so it doesn't matter. So they're going to plug in there, and then you can open this up. And yeah, man, that just looks beautiful. You gotta get it however you want, but there you go. So a lot of pieces. There's one articulation piece here, one here. This white piece moves, and then this. So you can really get this, kind of however you want. All right, and there he is with his wings fully assembled. Beautiful, beautiful thing. It does get back heavy because there's a lot of plastic back here. So you just gotta balance him and, kind of orient him, but it does hold it just fine, which is nice. I don't like when they make figures like this and they can't hold up their own stuff. So this works. I like how it displays. Now, of course, you get some weapons. So you get this blaster here with the blue paint here. Nice sculpt detail. Really good looking gun. That can go into the gripping hands here, which I've already replaced. Excellent, excellent looking gun. You also get beam sabers, so you get the pink beam here. Now this one's a little bit bent in package. And then the actual hilt. So you can attach these, and then these can go into the hand, just like any other beam saber. That looks great, of course. Now there's a lot of things, other things you can do with this, which is nice. So you can take the beam out, and you can put that into the gun, which is awesome. So it looks like he's firing the actual beam. Very cool. Now this one's bent, so I gotta straighten that one out. But then you can take these hilts, and they thought of everything, right? So you can take these, and these will fit into here. Yeah, so it does kind of peg in, it tabs in, and there's two little divots. Let me make sure I have them balanced here. There's two little divots on the side of these beam sabers, so you just want to get those in, and that'll lock it in to here. There you go. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I'm left with one, only thing left is this other beam saber beam, which you can just stow away or whatever. But so final thoughts on the Gundam Universe Wave 6. Let's start with the positives. I really think that Bandai is continuing to give us more and more with these. Now, the price of these, $25 a figure, it's on par with the other Marvel, Hasbro figures, or, even the deluxe class Transformers. So the price point is there, and they just keep giving us more, like these little open up panels, more weapons. This guy is probably the biggest value here in this set because you get so much stuff, right? So many accessories. I really feel like you're getting money's worth on these. I do like all the accessories. This guy in particular has some trouble. Just things tend to fall off or like pop off as you're messing with it. And I probably just glue these on because I don't need them to come off. But once I do that, I'll probably be a little bit better. These also like to pop off too. So a little bit of floor polish or kiki will help with that. But other than that, man, I really like these. All of them work well. All their gimmicks and accessories work. The display, the accuracy to the original material is really well done. Highly recommend this. I mean, if you're a fan of Gundam and you just like messing with these action figures, these are the ones. They're fun. They're fun. So that's really it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.